Brown. That's beautiful. Numbered Colin Kaepernick out of 149. Wonder if he'll find a job this year. Maybe in another video I'll talk about this Kaepernick situation a little bit.
What's up, YouTube? Big D for life. If you didn't know, that was a little excerpt from the first video I ever made on my channel. And at the time, I fully planned to do a video where I talked about Cap and the entire situation with the NFL. But over time, I started to sort of get the idea that a few people in the community felt pretty strongly about Kaepernick. And well, I just decided to take the high road. And as you all know, in all honesty, I usually wear my emotions on my sleeve. So it's hard for me to ignore things that I care about. But when I came to YouTube, I did so with the idea that I'd steer clear of politics and social issues. It was a getaway from that. And I would focus on cards, sports, the hobby, the community. That's what I came here to do. I've been able to do that for a few months, but really with the recent onslaught of response videos related to Kaepernick, I've been finding it harder and harder not to share my thoughts on the subject. And finally this weekend, I got confirmation to share my thoughts. Indies Gal 38 did a video where she opened a package from yours truly. And in the first part of the video, she discussed Kaepernick. And she was saying, despite we all disliked him, that we should keep a card or two of his in case they're worth any money, because he's known as the person that disrespected the flag or disrespected the anthem, something along those lines. But I know I'm definite on the we all disliked him part of it. And so the irony of the whole keep a card or two in case if they're worth something aside, it's the we all part that stuck with me. And I felt it was important for me to state that not everyone dislikes Kaepernick for what he did. In fact, I myself am not part of the we all she mentioned. And I want to note that this video has nothing to do with Indies Gal, other than it was her video that sort of woke me up to the idea that I really needed to say something for myself. And why is that? I think sometimes when you have a community, you have people that actually might think different than the group, but never speak on it because for fear or how can I put this? Because they don't want to upset the rest of the group. Sometimes that silence can lead to a perception of consent. And that's why I decided to do this. I'm not trying to create drama. I'm not offended, nor am I trying to offend anyone else. I'm not upset with anyone, and I sincerely hope I can remain friends with everyone once I upload this video. So back to Kaepernick. Here's my thing with it all. Perhaps you don't agree with the actual reason he took a knee. I really don't know if you do or not, but if that's the case, good on you. We all have different life experiences, and therefore, we may see things differently. Maybe you disagree with his method. Hey, that's okay. I'm not condemning what he did, but I will admit that I personally wouldn't choose to protest the way he did. Chris Long, he's a defensive end. He was with the Patriots. I think he's with the Eagles now. He did a really eloquent job of stating why he was empathetic to Cap's stance. Look up the word empathetic if you don't know what it means. I'm not saying you don't, but compare it to sympathetic and empathetic. Empathetic, sort of like putting yourself in somebody else's shoes. May have experiences different than you. He was empathetic to Cap's stance, and I'll post a link to his comments in the description if anybody wants to check it out. Anyhow, all that said, I think there's one thing we all can agree on, and that's the fact that Kaepernick has a constitutional right to do what he did. In fact, that right is one of the very things that separates America from many other countries in the world. Many other countries don't have that freedom. In many countries, what you all are doing to a card would actually happen to someone if they took a knee to an anthem or a flag or a religion like Kaepernick did. People might be burned. They might have their head chopped off, put through a paper shredder or a blender, stoned to death. I know. I'm overreacting. Big D, it's just cards. It's not a real human. Alright, I give you that. But let's read some of the comments in response to some of the videos where cap cards have been destroyed. And this is just a small smidget sampling. Beat the crap out of crap. The second crap being a reference to Kaepernick, but it's a little play on words. That's good. Great way to get rid of trash like Kaepernick. Now here's where we're starting good. That is what we call first degree cap murder. And lastly, die, cap, die. I love the positivity. So several of those comments were from our younger collectors. I don't know how old these kids are, but they're like 10 or 12 years old, maybe younger. Their moms buy them nicer cards than most of us can even afford. And they're on YouTube cutting up a dude's card because he took a knee. That thing happens in other countries, right? But in America, now, don't get me wrong, just like Cap had the right to take a knee, people have a right to disagree with him. But is this really the symbolism we want our kids sharing in a country with a history of racial tension like the United States? Do we really want them creating the imagery that they are cutting off a black man's head or burning a black man in their yard? Or actually, do we want them creating that imagery for any person? Do we really believe that these 10-year-old kids have a full understanding of what's going on? Or are we shaping their views before they're able to do so themselves? Are they making a video because they understand freedom of speech and because they're patriotic Americans? Or because all the cool grown-ups are doing it and they might win some free cards? Secondly, it amazes me that it's cap cards you're chopping up. You all realize he wasn't the only person to take a knee. Multiple players across all sports have done so, including the NFL. Mike Evans, anybody? Oh wait, my bad. Mike Evans cards have value, so yeah, let's not cut those up. I'm going to hold my patriotism on Mike Evans. I'm going to hold up on that until he sucks. And also, why Kaepernick? Professional sports has had more than its share of domestic abuse, violence, steroids, drug offenders, DUIs, gambling, point shaving, cheating, gun charges, rapists, animal abusers, public indecency, a dude defecating in a closet. There are guys right and left accused of beating women, their wives, their children, innocent bystanders, and even murderers. Remember what I said earlier about silence creating a perception of consent? Yet, the guy you chop up is the guy that protested peacefully by simply taking a knee. He didn't burn a flag. He didn't spit on a flag. Hell, he didn't even inhibit anyone else from respecting the flag. It was his own silent personal protest of a symbol. Although, he did receive the most media attention. Honestly, what I get is that a bunch of people consider a guy like Big Hit Cards crossing the line when he makes an off-color comment about female anatomy or ties together multiple cuss words in the same paragraph. That's just too much for the YouTube community. That guy really went over the top, fellas. He needs to be put in check. It doesn't promote the positivity that we all stand for in this community. I don't think cutting up cap cards in the name of patriotism is very positive either. I like to take a look at this photo from time to time. It's from a pro-segregation rally in the late 50s, I think, in Arkansas. and look around the picture, and you've got your usual suspects. American flags, the fearful communist slogan, religion, stop the race mixing, march of the Antichrist. These things are strategically placed, not only in this photo, but throughout history. Every time the status quo gets threatened, you'll see these usual suspects pop up. Seriously, think about it. I don't believe the American flag in this photo stands for this. Yet they attempted to use all of this imagery to justify hate and segregation. This is another photo I wanted to share, and I'm sure a lot of people probably saw this in the news. This is a photo of Kathy Griffin holding up a fake severed head of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. In my opinion, and much of America's as well, this was over the line. It was in poor taste. Even if people don't like Trump, this isn't the way to show you disagree. We're better than this. But imagery can be extremely powerful. Oh, and for the record, I don't want anybody to get it twisted and think I condone this image. I don't. But what I'm doing is making a comparison to what people are doing to Kaepernick to what she did to our president. Neither one of them are okay. So I'm sure you're all tired of hearing me talk, but in closing, like I said, I don't have a problem with anyone personally. I'm not trying to create drama. I'd much rather focus on cards, and in fact, going forward, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I simply felt the need to share that there was someone with a different point of view. Who knows, maybe I'm not the only one. If I am the only one, that's okay too. I got balls big enough to say I am. I hope we can all continue to be friends. My best friend disagrees with me on this issue, and he and I have dinner together. Our kids grow up together. We break cards together. We were best men at each other's weddings. We still manage to coexist and respect each other even though we disagree. But he knows where I stand and I know where he stands. I don't really want to have a debate about this. My feelings aren't hurt. I'm not offended, and I don't need anyone to explain or apologize to me. And yes, the elephant in the room, before anybody gets it twisted, Jack Frost, I have great respect, love, and admiration for you. And everybody else that did videos. But in particular you, because I consider you a friend, brother. We just disagree. And that's okay. No. I also have great respect and love for the entire Card family. Otherwise, and if I'm keeping it real here, I wouldn't give a shit what any of you had to say if I didn't care. So that's all I got. And this will be the last time I discuss this subject. And I'm sure a lot of people are clapping when I said that. Y'all keep it real. I'm out.